So we're going to talk about transparent versus opaque paints. There can be a huge difference in how you work with them and the kind of coverage you get. Most of your paint brands do tell on the tube whether they are transparent or opaque. Here you can see the clear white square, which tells us that this is a transparent. If it was opaque, that would be black square. If it is semi-transparent, it would be half and half. So each different company kind of has their own means of marking their tubes, and I'm not sure where Richardson's is, but also on the websites, they will generally tell you if they are transparent or opaque. To see for yourself, lay a little bit of the paint out onto your canvas and you can clearly see the transparents are almost see-through in some areas, depending on how thick or thin you push the paint around. Look at the beautiful color that you get by removing some of the thickness of the paint. Some of the advantages of working with transparent versus opaque in your painting is that if you start out using the transparent colors as your layout colors or your value layout underneath your painting, when you layer the opaque colors on top of them, you will not get that muddiness. They will not mix. The opaque color will tend to cover the transparent color much better than if you try to put a transparent color over top of opaque, where you will get the color underneath showing through. Some of the other advantages to them is that your opaques can actually create some of their own value shifts just by how thick or thin you place them onto your paper. And so you can get some wonderful definition of shapes just by how you manipulate your transparent colors. They also tend to sit back and not have the same sense of solidness or density as what your opaque colors do. So they work well when you are particularly doing like a background with something solid in front of it. Your background, you can use transparent and then do the solid shapes with your opaque, and they will feel much more solid and have a certain dimension to them. Some examples of this painting here I did in plein air, and I was able to create a lot of depth and dimension within this painting just by using my different transparent versus opaque. Transparent ultramarine blue in here, olive green here. We have some transparent red oxide here. Down in some of these areas here, we have used some transparent yellow oxide, and then on top of that, I have layered some of my opaques, and you can see that creates much more of a definition of shape and form. And with the greens here, we have the olive green in the shadow areas. A transparent pushes back, and then when I put the solidness of the opaque green on top of it, it feels pulls forward and feels so much more solid. Here you can see, look how far back that pushes that, which is that transparent yellow oxide put on. And here you've got a much more solid sense of the shape because it has been overlaid with the opaque colors. The same thing applies here. I have done a pet portrait, and on the pet portrait I use some of the transparents in the shadow areas and in the background here to kind of push it back, make it feel less important, less substantial, while then applying some of your denser opaque colors into the areas that I wanted to have come forward, even the eyes where I wanted them to have a bit more sense of importance. Here is an example of the transparent with an opaque right next to it, and how you get that sense that this is a big lock of hair, whereas this gives you a feeling more that it's pushing back and moving away from you. So it doesn't just apply in landscapes, it can apply to any subject you are doing. Here is an example of working with a still life floral. I have used transparents here in the background flowers and the core of the flowers to kind of push them back. Also with the leaves here, I have used that olive green towards the shadow areas, and look how they recede and move back. While up here in front, we have added some of the opaque color, and that leaf feels so much more solid and so much more as if it's coming forward. Here's a bit of a transparent color on here also. Really gives a sense that that leaf is in shadow. Okay, so there you go, some explanation to all of that, and I will be following this up with a demo using the application of transparent versus opaque in a painting. Follow along.